Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are celebrating the musical theatre genius that is Stephen Sondheim, because that's what I want to do right now, so that's what we're doing. Ask anyone who works in musical theatre, but even just theatre in general, and probably 99.99% of the people you would talk to, if not 100%, would say something about how Stephen Sondheim and his work has influenced them or inspired them or changed the way that they see theatre and musical theatre as a genre. He was just an amazing artist. His music and his lyrics, just there's almost no words for them. And for me particularly, as someone who loves music as well as loving theatre, just the combination of the music that he composed and the lyrics that he set to that music, just so amazing. I can't think of a modern composer lyricist of our time who captures what it is to be human as well as Stephen Sondheim did. When I heard of his passing, which when I'm filming this was a couple of days ago, not only did I feel immense sadness, like everyone in the theatre community, more than anything, actually what I felt was immense gratitude for the work and the songs that he has given us. And also, on a weird note, although I never met him personally, just grateful that I was on the planet at the same time as him. And I know I'm not alone in this because I've seen other people say a similar sentiment, but just knowing that I lived at the same time as Stephen Sondheim and that he has left us such incredible songs and lyrics and music is just, I'm so grateful for that, really. So I want to celebrate, and the way I want to celebrate is not giving you guys like a biography of his life and work. You can go to Wikipedia or, you know. But I just want to share with you guys some of my favourite Stephen Sondheim songs. This is not an exhaustive list. I've tried to like mix it up a little bit, so there hopefully will be some ones that aren't like the typical everyone loves this song. But yeah, I just want to share some of my favourite Stephen Sondheim songs and why I love them so much, to celebrate an amazing man, an amazing artist, an amazing life and some amazing art. So if you are down for that, then keep on watching. Also, if you hear noises, Josh is playing video games, so yay, video games! So, in no particular order, song number one is Children Will Listen, which, if you know Stephen Sondheim's work, is from Into the Woods. Into the Woods has a really special place in my heart. It was the first Stephen Sondheim show I was ever in. It was our Year 8 school show. And then also, Into the Woods was my first ever professional contract leaving drama school. So yeah, Into the Woods just has a really special place in my heart. Children Will Listen is one of the lyrics that's been quoted quite a lot online as people have been paying tribute to Stephen Sondheim, and it's really obvious why. There's just something about children and how children take on everything you give them, and how much of a responsibility it is to be a parent. And when I say parent, I don't mean like literally a parent, like you pushed a baby out of your womb, but even just like the care and love and attention you have to give to children, because they take on everything and they take that on for the rest of their lives. I just love that as a sentiment as someone who is not a parent. I mean, the other big song in Into the Woods is You Are Not Alone, and you know, which has lots of other things. It didn't make this list. Children Will Listen pipped it to the post when I was coming up with this list yesterday. They swap in and out. They're both amazing songs, but yeah, Children Will Listen. Also because Bernadette Peters singing Children Will Listen is just like, mwah, chef's kiss. So yeah, so that is song number one. Song number two is Finishing the Hat from Sunday in the Park with George. Again, another Sondheim show that has a special space in my heart. Yeah, space in my heart, place in my heart. It's in my heart, guys. And the reason that one does is because I'm pretty sure that it was the first ever Sondheim show I saw. I went on a school trip to see Sunday in the Park with George when I was 15, 16. As I've got older, there's just something about the song Finishing the Hat. I actually even bought a transposed version off of Music Notes and have like learnt it. I need to work on it some more actually. There's just something about that song that is so heartbreaking to me. The whole song is basically about him talking about his obsession with his art and how he has to finish the hat and he has to finish the painting, and the rest of the world passes him by and he's so engrossed. When he comes away from his work at the end of the day, the woman that he wants waiting for him, the kind of woman that he could love, is not the woman who would wait for him. And there's just something so heartbreaking about the fact that he knows that. He knows that his obsession with his art is stopping him forming meaningful, loving relationships with the people in his life that he loves, but he can't turn away. He has to finish the hat. I just find that so devastatingly beautiful and poignant. I don't know, I love it. And just the imagery in that song as well, reaching through the world of the hat like a window, but the woman who won't wait for you knows that however you live, there's a part of you always standing by, mapping out a sky. I'm getting goosebumps. I love that song. It's so beautiful. So yeah, that's song number 2. That wasn't very coherent, but just trust me, it's such a beautiful song. There's no show of the week. I've forgotten that the last few shows, but I'll link all of the songs that I mention in this list. I'll link them down below so you can check them out and just bask in the glory. Song number 3 is Everything's Coming Up Roses from Gypsy. Now, Gypsy has some cracking belty tunes. The big ones are obviously Everything's Coming Up Roses, Rose's Turn, and what's the one? Some People. Those are like the 3 big belters. And of those 3 big belters, dramatically, I love Everything's Coming Up Roses because the lyric is so like, everything's amazing. But when you watch it in situ of the show, it's the end of Act 1, it's like everything's falling apart and this woman just cannot get it together. Like, she's being given the option of like a life that is comfortable and like full of love, and she's like, no, Louise, you're the one, everything's great. And it's just the insanity of it, but it's so just like out of context, you'd think it's just like everything's great and woo, and the juxtaposition I just love as a dramatic moment. And also Imelda Staunton belting her tits off is just great all the time. So yeah, so that's number 3. Yes, so that's number 3. Number 4 is You Could Drive a Person Crazy from Company, which was a song that I did in my final recital of my undergrad. I don't know, there's just something so light and bubbly about this song, but it's also these women talking about how much of a dick Bobby is, which I enjoy. Not enjoy men being dicks, I just, you know, I enjoy women being like, yeah, stop it. It's not quite Andrew's Sisters, it's like sometimes Andrew's Sisters, but I like the close harmony, the rhythmicness of it. I like some of the wordplay, like when a person's personality is personable. There's some fun lyrical moments, as always with Stephen Sondheim. As a lighter song, I just really enjoy it. I like it. I don't have to justify this to you. This is just I like the song, all right? So that is song number 4. Number 5 is Moments in the Woods, again from Into the Woods. Love that show. Moments in the Woods is not currently in my casting yet because I still look like a child. Although actually my casting's going up to like young women now. Oh, not just teenagers anymore. But I just love watching the baker's wife figure it out. I just enjoy that. I enjoy singing that song. I enjoy playing the whole, oh, that was amazing, no, get back to reality, oh, but then, oh, why is this so annoying, and maybe I could do this, no, that's stupid. And I love how she figures it out, and I love how Sondheim paints that picture of her figuring it out. Also, I just love the use of motif just throughout Into the Woods. There's kind of like a general motif that goes through the whole show that sounds different depending on which characters are singing. So for example, in Moments in the Woods, it's but you get that a bit in I Know Things Now. You've got similar things like but then in Giants in the Sky, there's a similar kind of motif after he's gone, there are big, tall, terrible giants in the sky, and then there's the interlude before, when you're way up high and you look below. Again, it's that whole and then in Steps of the Palace, you've got it's like subtle variations on the same thing because they're all in the same world but they're different people, and it's like, yeah, I love that. And that's one of the things that let's say it now. That's one of the things I love about Sondheim as a composer as opposed to a lyricist, is, you can tell he's from the old school of composition because there's so many little motifs and counter melody and counterpoint, and it all feeds in, and it works on you on an unconscious level unless you're a music nerd like me, and then you're like, oh my god, that bit was in here. And I love that. I love all of that, and there's just the attention to detail. Oh, beautiful. Going back to Moments in the Woods though, I love that song, love watching her figure it out, and also just the changes in colour, like going back to a compositional standpoint, when there's the different moments, so like when she's like letting herself run away with her feelings and imagination, and everything goes really legato and big and swooshy, that's not the technical term, but you know what I mean. And then when she's like, no, practical, it goes more staccato and like do dum bum bum. I love it. I love it so much. So that's number, I don't even remember what number we're on, but yeah, Moments in the Woods, banging tune. Number 6 is The Ballad of Sweeney Todd. This is an odd one because it's not a solo or anything like that. I just love the mood that The Ballad of Sweeney Todd, the opening ballad, not the reprises, although I'm sure the reprises are fine. Full disclosure, I've not ever seen Sweeney Todd on stage. I've only seen the film with Johnny Depp, which doesn't have the ballads in it. But I have sung The Ballad of Sweeney Todd when I was at RAM. They always do a Christmas concert, but the year I went was like their 20th anniversary. So they did a big concert at the Prince Edward Theatre, and they invited lots of alumni back to sing with us as well. And we all did The Ballad of Sweeney Todd, and just the mood it sets. And again, with the melodies and counter melodies and that opening motif of the it's so mysterious and creepy, and it's just so good. And it starts so quiet, and then when everyone comes in with a swing your razor wide Sweeney, and like the sopranos and tenors are up in the rafters like wanting to die, but it sounds so good. And and you know, in those first few bars, you know what kind of show it is. You know people are gonna die, spoilers, but it's just like the inner like emo kid in me is like, yes, living for the ballad, you know. So yeah, that's song number 6. I almost forgot about my tea. Oh, that's a great brew. Oh, I don't know what part of the north this is, but let me know in the comments, any northern folk. Where am I from right now? I don't know. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, for the record, northern accent's not on my spotlight, so don't worry. Don't worry about it. I will not be being paid to butcher northern accents. It's fine. Anyway, what number am I on? Number 7 is A Good Thing Going from Merrily We Roll Along. Again, I've not ever seen Merrily We Roll Along, but I know the story of Merrily We Roll Along, and I would like to see it. So if it's ever revived at all, and I feel comfortable going to a auditorium because COVID is over, then I will be there. And what I love about A Good Thing Going is how simple it is. I love the simplicity of the melody. Just for context also, there's not really a play within a play with Merrily We Roll Along, but it's about a writer and a composer. Throughout the show, this is the song that they've been trying to work on. It's like the big song that's going to be in the big show that makes them famous kind of thing. And we hear different iterations of the melody with different lyrics and things like that. I believe A Good Thing Going is like the final version of the song. Is meant to be. I love how simple it is. I love the really simple accompaniment. At the beginning of the song, it's simple chords, but again with those nice counter melodies. So we got a good thing going, and then there's like this piano motif that goes up a really weird chromatic scale. It's like a chromatic ascending scale, and it's kind of wonky. I think you've got like a devil's interval in there, like an augmented fifth in there maybe. So you've got this beautiful kind of classic chord progression, simple, clean, typical song with those weird little motifs that show that things are kind of off kilter, like in the show where the relationship between the main characters goes off kilter. Like this, that's kind of like my musicologist brain there, but like I really like that aspect. But also I just think it's just a really nice song. I think it's really beautiful. It's just lovely. I just like it, guys. That's all I've got to say. And the thing that's in my head at the moment is the final lyric when it's like, we had a good thing going, gone. And that's one of the things, as a lyricist, one of the reasons that I love Sondheim's stuff is that he writes stuff that when you hear it, it's so obvious, but it's so genius. Do you know what I mean? You don't see the art of, oh, he's tried to do something really clever here. He's done something clever, but it's so clever, you're like, of course that's what the lyric has to be. You know what I mean? Yeah, love it. So that's number 7, I think. I think it's number 7. Number 8 is I Read from Passion. So actually last night, Josh and I filmed a Drunken Explain. We weren't drunken, we were drinking hot toddies because we're both sick. But we filmed a Drunken Explain with me explaining the plot of Passion. And Passion, I have a love-hate relationship with, but I love the song I Read. It's just so sad. It's kind of similar to Finishing the Hat for me, of like, it's so true and it's so hauntingly, dreadfully beautiful. It's basically this woman who has a really shit life being like, I read to escape. And I think we've all been there. We've all read or just shut out the world and just put our headphones in, or like dived into films to just escape the shit that is life. You know, live vicariously through stories, through fiction. And now I'm thinking about it, it's kind of like the flip side of that, of being like, art isn't just to be like, oh, and what's the depths of this thing? Because basically in the lead up to this song, the main character, Giorgio, has lent Fosca, the woman who sings this song, this book, and she's saying like, oh, I really liked this character. And he's like, oh, you should have thought about it longer. Like, you should have kept the book to like think about the complexities of this character. And she's like, nah, that's not why I read. So I guess the other thing about this song is about how art, in this case books, can just be about escape and flying and being somewhere else and escaping from your life for a bit. It doesn't have to be this huge intellectual exercise. Yeah, and the melody is just so haunting and just lush, and it's like, I do not read to think. And then again with piano motifs like do 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 do, and oh my god, and the I can't even talk. The arrangement, the orchestration of it, because it's like the main chord is like, I believe, strings, and they just like come in so softly, and then but then there's like later on in the song where she really like belts it out and she's like soaring, and as in vocally, she's not actually soaring. They don't put her on a wire and just like fly her about, but it's just. And like the lyric, I read to fly, to skim, I do not read to swim, I do not dwell on dreams. And it's just, it's just devastating. I love it. It's such a beautiful song. Oh my god. And this is why I have a love-hate relationship with Passion, because like the actual story, when you get down to it, is like, wow, that is not a healthy relationship, but you're like, oh, Fosca, no! And yeah, freaking love that song. It's a beautiful song. Listen to it. That's number 8, I think. Yeah, number 8. Number 9, Moving On from Sunday in the Park with George. This is another one that has been quoted a lot in people's tributes to Stephen Sondheim on the interwebs. I think the reason, especially people in theatre, gravitate towards this song and this musical in general, Stephen Sondheim himself said that Sunday is his most autobiographical show by far, because the show is all about the pains of being an artist. Move On is basically the ghost of Dot. Spoilers. Well, it's not really spoilers, because Act 1 is set in the 18-somethings and then Act 2 is set in the 1980s, so obviously she's dead. But anyway, it's the ghost of Dot talking to George the Rat Jr., basically being like, you've just got to keep on doing the thing. Keep on doing the thing. There's so many like resonant artsy quotes in that song, like, stop worrying if your vision is new, let others make that decision, they usually do. Anything you do, let it come from you, then it will be new. Give us more to see. Just, there's just so much that for us as artists, and I'm speaking about myself, as well as the theatrical community in general, is just like, yeah, man, you hit the nail on the head. And also it's just big, sweeping, and just beautiful. So that's number 9. So I'm just thinking about Jenna Russell and Daniel Evans singing it at the Sondheim prom. I'll link the Sondheim prom down below as well, because everyone needs to watch that. Oh my god! I'm going to add in an honourable mention at the end of this list, because I've just thought of another song that's definitely on this list that isn't on this list. So, but anyway, move on, number 9. In fact, while we're here, let's do the honourable mention. So the honourable mention that I just thought about is Sunday from Sunday in the Park with George. Oh my god. No One Is Alone, Into the Woods, another honourable mention. Sunday in the Park with George from Sunday in the Park with George, honourable mention. By the Sea, is it called By the Sea, Mr. Todd, or just By the Sea? I think it's just called By the Sea from Sweeney Todd. Love it. These Are My Friends, Sweeney Todd. Maria from West Side Story. Love that one. I Feel Pretty from West Side Story as well. I enjoy that one. Also, America from West Side Story. So yeah, I don't know how many honourable mentions those are, but those are honourable mentions that I've thought of as filming this. There's probably some more, but I need to finish filming this at some point because I want to play The Sims. Also, I need to like write up a testimonial and do some homework for a project I'm doing. So yeah, so those are the honourable mentions for now, but only for now. That's a different show written by different people. And number 10, because apparently I wrote down 10 songs and I forgot that I'd made it a nice round number. Number 10 is Not While I'm Around from Sweeney Todd. There's nothing really intellectual I can say about this song about, oh, and the way the motifs do this and all of the wordplay. I just think it is a freaking beautiful song. The sentiment, although in context the sentiment is messed up, actually no, when it's first sung I don't think it is messed up. I think the sentiment is so beautiful. I think as a lullaby it's wonderful. Those lyrics that are so like obvious but they're not. Devils will charm you with a smile for a while. I love the rhyming schemes not being obvious in terms of where the rhymes are placed within the lines or within the stanzas. I just think it's a beautiful song. And then also within the context of the show, Toby is kind of seeing through Mr. Todd, but he's too young to really realise that, you know, what it is. And Mrs. Lovett trying to reassure this kid and being like, I'll keep you safe, when they're literally murdering people and putting them into pies. Spoilers. And I think it's often understated, especially in Sweeney Todd, because everyone loves the ballad, everyone loves Little Priest, everyone loves Joanna, Pretty Women. There's lots of other songs that I think when you think of Sweeney Todd, those are the songs you think of. And I think Not While I'm Around should get more love. So that's why it's in this list. So yeah, that is number 10. So those are apparently my 10 with some honourable mentions favourite Sondheim songs. What are your favourite Sondheim songs, whether he did the music and the lyrics or just the lyrics as in Gypsy and West Side Story? Let me know down in the comments because hey, let's just chat about how great Sondheim was. Why not? Before I do the full outro, just quick AOB. So obviously COVID is still going on, but at least here in the UK things are like have opened back up. Obviously whilst I was on tour I wasn't keeping to a weekly schedule because I was on tour, and now I've got this gap, I'm back at work, I'm learning songs for some like Christmas singing gigs I've got coming up. I'm starting a personal like project that I got some funding to do. There's lots of stuff going on, so essentially me doing weekly videos is not really feasible at the moment because life is starting back up and I'm not furloughed anymore, so I can't just sit at home making videos. So I don't know what's going to happen to my schedule. I'm kind of up in the air about whether I want to go back to what I was doing in 2019 and doing 1 video a month, or doing what I planned to do at the beginning of 2020 and do 2 videos a month, or if I'm just gonna give myself the grace to just post whenever I can. I think for one thing, it will allow me to do some video ideas that I have been meaning to do, but because they take a lot of time, I've been putting them off and off and off because I know that I don't have the time. So I think having a more flexible schedule will allow me to actually make the videos I want to make rather than just stressing about, oh, I don't have time to do those videos, so I need to think of an easy video idea to do that I might not actually care about that much or want to talk about. So bear with me with that. If you want to know when I post, then subscribe and click the bell. It's the only time I'm going to tell you to click the bell, but like honestly, I don't know what my schedule's going to be as of yet. So if you just want to make sure you don't miss a video, if you are so into what I do here, then yeah, that's probably your best option. And then once I have a schedule that I know I can commit to, I will let you guys know. So then you can unclick the bell if you don't like notifications, because some people don't. Notifications can be stressful. That's all I have to say about that, but thank you so much for bearing with me, and I hope you're still enjoying these videos, and I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing, which I literally just told you to do, but I'm gonna tell you again because that's how my outro goes. So yeah, love to have you on the channel. Come on down. We have a great, if slightly less regular time for the time being. Stay tuned for more theatre content from a UK perspective, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye friends!